So Kayleigh, how do you know me?
I actually met you through my carer who works in one of the homes.
So Kayleigh came to work for us on reception because her foster mum, a lovely lady who's one of our managers, our deputy managers of one of our homes, put her forward. So you've been working on reception for us for about 2 years?
2.5 years, I think.
2.5 years. And Kayleigh's just actually moved into working in the school administration office with the business team. So her journey is really going to be the same as everyone that comes in at a young age to the organisation. We want to kind of show them every aspect of the organisation so that if they do choose to take this on as a career, they have a broad spectrum, like they have an idea about where they want to go within the organisation. Kayleigh's not old enough obviously to work in the homes, she's not old enough to work in the school, but at some point she could be. So everyone's journey is different, and you know that's kind of what our Building Brighter Futures slogan is about, and that's just not just for the kids in our homes, it's for the whole community. So we like to give everyone an opportunity to grow, develop and flourish. We've had lots of young people come through the doors to work for us for little periods of time. Hopefully they'll leave us to go on and get references to go on to the careers that they choose in their future. But Kayleigh may choose to stay with us hopefully at some point. We'll see where that goes.
This work can be intense and you're supporting others every day. How do you look after your own well-being and keep yourself grounded?
I think that's a very important question. It's something that I've on and off struggled with. I think that self-care is something that I didn't really see as important until I got older. And I think that I naturally always have to have something to do. So if I don't have a focus, I fall to pieces. So I always have a focus, I always give myself something to do. So if work was ever quiet, I would do a challenge. So I did an Ironman. I did an Ironman because it was the hardest thing I could think I could do. And for me, that is self-care. For me, going and doing something that gives me a purpose that is bigger than me and it scares me a little bit, it helps to focus my brain. So taking on new challenges is something that really recharges me. So moving outside of my comfort zone and doing things that fill me with purpose. My battery is diminished if I don't have purpose, which is why I said earlier I struggle to work within organisations that I'm not in control of all of the components, because waking up and just doing a 9 to 5 for me wouldn't give me purpose, it wouldn't fulfill me, and that drains my battery to the point that I feel I get mentally really ill. So for me, I think that just taking on challenges and I think finding things to keep busy is really, really good, and that's kind of how I do it. I think some people would say that the stuff that I take on is too much, but for me it works, and I think everyone is very different with that.
What's a typical recharge moment for when you're not working?
You could probably find me in bed. My routines are very different, I think, from some people's. Most people are up out early in the morning. They like to get the day started early. I've never been an early person. I've struggled like hell in the mornings. I'll get up if I need to, if I have to, and I'll switch my brain on with coffee, but lots of coffee. But generally, I probably don't really even start getting changed until 9 o'clock. And I think that my recharge is being at home. My reset is being at home. So I said earlier that my biggest achievement in life is probably getting married, having a family. And I think for me, it might be the bit of autism that I've got, but I love my routine at home. I love my structure at home, and that fills me up. And that is what my reset looks like. My reset looks like being in my community. It's taking my son to his judo. It's going to Lucy's house for a cup of tea. It's spending time walking the dogs with Emma. It's lying down on the bed and just chilling out, watching, listening to podcasts, reading stories about people doing things that are amazing, or trying to get inspiration to take on new challenges myself. So that's kind of what does that for me.
Would it be okay if I changed my last question?
Yeah, you can do whatever you like.
If you could give young people in care one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, that's a very good one. I think there'd be lots of things I would say, but I think the most important thing is that you have a future. You have the ability. I think kids in care, as a whole, don't realise that they have more opportunity than children that are looked after often by their parents. And what I mean by that is that being brought up in the care system means that you're surrounded by lots of different adults at different times in your life. And I think I've been gifted different adults in my life at different times that have given me different things. I would never have got that from one family. So the insights that I've had, so you think you're at a deficit, you think you're behind everybody else, and I believed that for a very long time, that life is, everyone else is ahead of me because they've gone to school and they've had this and I haven't had that, and blah, 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 blah. And I realised as I got older that I have got more, and my life is a gift, and my experience of life is a gift. And I don't think that I've had a bad lot. If you said to me, if I died tomorrow and I was stood at the pearly gates and said, have you had a good life? Have you done everything you can with your life? My answer would be yes. I've had a great life. I've had a great, all of the shit things that have happened to me, the really bad things, a lot of bad things have happened to me. Not even as a child, like as an adult as well, and a young adult mostly. But even as an adult, as an older adult, lots of shit things happen, lots of bad things happen. And that has made me who I am. And I think that's a gift. And I think kids in care don't, some people do and some don't, but you need to realise that you are ahead of the game. You have more opportunity than most. I remember somebody phoned me once and their car had blown up and it was the end of the world, and they were like suicidal because their car had blown up. And for me, if my car blows up, I park at the side of the road, couldn't give a shit. Because I've lost everything millions of times before and I've got it back. And it's like the gift of my life. The gift of my life is understanding that I can lose absolutely everything and be living in a tent with a broken leg and have nothing, to having everything. And that's a gift that being in care gave me.
I think that's all the questions I have.
Thank you very much.